Crafty friends, today is Monday, August 14th, 2023, and it's Diane the Creative Inkster. I'm an Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I am here for my creative escape. Today is a very exciting day in our family. It's my daughter's 32nd birthday, so we have been wishing her well all day long on all sorts of medium, and I hope she's having a wonderful celebratory evening. We are going to do a creative escape. So this is a card that I made probably 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember. It was when this stamp set, which I think is the one I featured last week as well, as it turned out, this color and contour one when it came out, and playing with these here. I don't know. I think that's about when I did it. I'm not enthralled with the greetings on this, but I do love the flowers, and I use the dies all the time. So the dies, you know, they don't really look like they specifically go with this set, but you can still, of course, get them. Both of these are still current product. I don't think my dies have arrived yet. I bought them separately. I bought the stamp set. I don't usually do that, but I bought the stamp set and then ordered the dies separately, which is fine. It happens that way. And we're going to put some of these fun images here instead of the flowers. Right, so let's start with our card base. And we're going to take an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of cardstock. We're going to cut it in half at 5.5. So there we go. We have a card base. Readers get all excited and busy making swap cards and sharing with friends. And I've been doing a little bit more decorating on the inside. All right, so to copy this, basically, we are going to have a white that we want to run down the center, and this piece measures 2.5 by 5.25, basically. You know, if you're a little bit here or a little bit there off on that measurement, don't worry about it. So 5.25 means to make the black layer from a width perspective. I mean, I'm thinking I'm going with 3 by 5.25, but we shall see. Now, am I stamping this one? I am. I probably should stamp it first, just to be safe. So let's stick this aside. That piece will just get a bit gummy, and that's fine. So I'm pulling in some coordinating colors: Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, and Sweet Sorbet. We are going to put the Stampin' Cut, the process of making the photopolymer. There's like a bit of a film. You can't feel it, smell it, or touch it, but it does end up on there. But this is looking pretty good. So we are in pretty good shape. We're going to ink this up again. And when I do this class, and I use photopolymer particularly with a number of the ladies in my one class, they don't feel like there's ever ink on that. Does that ever happen to you? You look at it and you think, I don't think there's any ink on there. I don't think any ink is going to turn the thing done. So crafting was definitely better. So I'm going to choose, now I have a sewing machine. That doesn't mean I use a sewing machine. I wouldn't exactly say I am a seamstress of any import at all. I'm going to make my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. Tahitian Tide. So once again, I'm going to get my scratch paper in here. I'm just going to see how that ink is transferred here. Get this mat back out. We'll get it on some beautiful white paper. Ink it up. And I'm going to just automatically put it on its side, so it's not, I'm not trying to line them all up. If I try to line them up, sure as shooting, they will not be straight, so may as well go with the angled look anyway. So we'll close that up. Remember, and pretty obvious what we're working with here. Okay, that's our stamping, and oh, look at that. Look what she did. She transferred some ink. Not cool. Let's try again then to do this over again. Darn. Get our paper out, our paper trimmer out here. We're going to cut this to 2. This is the matching to the card base that I'm going with in the Sweet Sorbet. And then we'll get the sewing machine and we'll get that done. And we'll try really hard not to get a little green smudge. Parakeet Party, here we come. Just coming for you. So these are a couple of the in colors. These three are in colors from 2022 to 2024, which is also 5.5 because it was cut from the same piece. All right, and then that's going to fit on the card base. Glue. This is our way of casing. So we're taking a basic design and we're making it our own, however we want that to look. Push it down a little bit. There we go. I love this changing it up on the go. See, we can hide that greeting and we can make this work for us in the way that we need it to. Well, I don't see anybody out there. I hope you're there watching and coming along this creative journey with me tonight, but I'm still getting that weird message. All right, so let's do this in black so it will pop. Find our black ink pad. We're going to hand cut this out. So if you find you have a greeting that you don't have the right shape of die or punch for, but you don't want all that white space to show up, you can hand cut it out, and that's something that I do a fair bit. So let's get this in a manageable piece. So where the edges curl up. So we're going to get our small dimensionals. That's these little guys, the minis, and we're going to put these around. Maybe 5 or 6 of them. However many is going to fit on here. Let's see. One here. There we go. I'll just peel the backs off. And parakeet party for the cherries. And I'm going to use this black layer here. And instead of a scalloped edge of any kind, I'm just going to put a straight edge on there. So let's get a piece of white. I'm so glad I cut a whole package of white paper up into smaller pieces. I'm not constantly going to my table and picking them up, our drawer and picking stuff up. So I'm going to do it at 5.5 by. Let's and you could stamp all over this, which actually I think I will. I think I'll take this stamp, which is this sort of basket, I guess, if you're going with the theme of the, whoa, I'm gonna get that all mixed up, with the cherry basket. And we're going to take our parakeet party, but we're going to stamp it off so that we don't have the color too dark. So that's where we need our scratch paper again, because I don't want to muck up this new sheet. So I'm going to stamp it off once, and then oh, that was barely visible. Stamp it off. It's very light. Stamp it off. Kind of nice to be pretty light like that. Off. I'm going to flip it around. So we're going to have a lot of this space is already going to be covered. Oh, I didn't stamp off that one. Oh, this is going to be very, very different all the way around. Oh, it's just a lot more obvious once I get it in the straight in the light. Not a lot of stamping. I think I'll do black to make that greeting pop again. So we are going to punch out some cherries in real red. There we are. And the parakeet party, I'm just going to look for a piece of scrap rather than a whole edge. That may do it. So here's our punch for the Sweetest Cherry stamp set. It has a coordinating punch for fun. We'll get our, I've got all my pieces all over the place here. We'll get our stem and our leaves done. 1, 2, get another leaf, and the stem and the leaf from the other end. There we go. And look at that, it jumped onto the floor. All right, let's collect up our pieces here. So 2 leaves, 2 leaves, 2 leaves, 1 stem, 1 stem, 1 stem. The rest is all just little bits and pieces. Okay, and then we need some red cherries. Now, I could punch the cherries out of this layer of red that's going behind the white, but what I find happens is, if I'm going to go in here like this, I'm going to probably not make that fit where you won't see it. And if I'm going on a white layer through, it might show up. So I'm into getting a piece of red here. And I don't need it to be entirely that tall. I just take this piece like this because I only need the cherry. So 1, and yeah, it has a cherry stamp in the stamp set too. But when it's just a punch like this, I find it super easy to just go with that and do a little punching. So this is a quick card once you have a punch. And let's get these layers together. We are going to stamp. I've been holding off because I wanted to see what it looked like once I assembled my cherries on here and where I would want to put birthday wishes. Birthday wishes. There we are. It's a bit of a big block for what we need. And I think we'll do it in black. Grab that Stampin' Pierce mat again. So if we put it, I know where I want it to land, so let's go with that. I want it to be here in the bottom right. I find it easier to position it if I have a straight edge along here or on the right or on the left of the word. And we might put sweet in there too. We'll see how much space we have when we're done. All right, let's glue this onto the red. This is going to go all the way across our card. Like so. Just has a layer on the top and the bottom, or a border rather on the top and the bottom. And then we're going to put it onto the black for another bit of layering. Isn't that going to pop? It's going to look so cool. Well, I feel like this, yeah, this black is just a titch shorter. And is that going to bother me? Nah, it's not going to bother me. It's not. We're not going to let that bother us. I'll just put some glue on the back because nobody has been into my mind, thank goodness, to see what thought process I had for this, and they probably aren't going to see the other cards to kind of go, oh, she meant to do this, but it doesn't turn out that way. No, no, no. I'm going to keep it simple. Now you could also, instead of using cardstock, if you had washi tape or something, you could do the same kind of layering. So then this is going to go here, right on the card. It's already 3 sheets of cardstock wide. I don't think we need to pop it up anymore, but you do that if you like. And so instead of an embossed layer to add some interest to the background on the parakeet party, I did that stamping. So just a little bit of tone-on-tone stamping. Now these I find better to assemble them together separately and then put them onto your card. I just found that it went a little bit better. And I have been so enjoying cherries this year. I gotta tell you, we have had a beautiful bumper crop for wherever we get them from, probably somewhere in the US, and they have just been wonderful. They're not this red color, they're more of a purpley color, I find, where we get them from. They're probably a certain kind of cherry. So you can flip these around so that the little edge on that leaf goes to the inside. So there's one. Learn this time, put a little bit more adhesive across. Stick my stem. Yeah, you could put that in the front. I put them in the back. That's just me. But you know, you may be more of a cherry aficionado than I just like eating them. And the last one, Wow, we are long tonight. We don't usually go this long. But it's been fun. I hope you'll watch the replay and give this kind of layout idea a try. I'm going to go back to my regular size dimensionals for the cherries. I'll put 2 on them, that'll be fine. Pop these guys up. I could have sponged them as well, taken my a sponge or a sponge dauber or blending brush and used the same color on there. That would have given them a little bit more depth of color and texture. There we go. So there is our 3 cherries. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you next time. Here are the 3 cards, and I'll post them on the Facebook page. Have a good evening. Bye for now.